Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The Kabbalion. What's up, everybody? We are back with another Hermetic principle, and today we are going to be covering principle number 5, the principle of rhythm. Let's get into it, and then we will chat about it. This principle embodies the truth that in everything there is manifested a measure of motion to and fro, a flow and inflow, a swing backward and forward, a pendulum-like movement, a tide-like ebb and flow, a high tide and a low tide between the two poles which exist in accordance with the principle of polarity described a moment ago. For us, it was in the other video. There is always an action and a reaction, an advance, a retreat, a rising, a shrinking. This is in the affairs of the universe, suns, worlds, men, animals, mind, energy, and matter. This law is manifest in the creation and destruction of worlds, in the rise and fall of nations, in the life of all things. And finally, in the mental states of man. And it is with the latter that the Hermetists find the understanding of the principle most important. The Hermetists have grasped this principle, finding its universal application, and have also discovered certain means to overcome its effects in themselves by the use of the appropriate formulas and methods. They apply the mental law of neutralization. They cannot annul the principle or cause it to cease its operation, but they have learned how to escape its effects upon themselves to a degree depending on the mastery of the principle. They have learned to use is all in capital letters, use it instead of being used by it. In this and similar methods consists the art of the Hermetists. The master of the Hermetics polarizes himself at the point at which he desires to rest, and then neutralizes the rhythmic swing of the pendulum, which would tend to carry him to the other pole. All individuals who have attained any degree of self-mastery do this to a certain degree, more or less unconsciously. But the master does this consciously and by the use of his will, and attains a degree of poise and mental firmness almost impossible of belief on the part of the masses who are swung backward and forward like a pendulum. This principle and that of polarity have been closely studied by the Hermetists, and the method of counteracting, neutralizing, and using them for an important part of the Hermetic mental alchemy. So this reminds me of a couple of things. One is something that my spiritual business mentor would talk about at the beginning of, or the middle of 2020. And that is that we can all be on the same sea. We can all be in the same storm, but on a different boat. This really brings to mind mindfulness, living in the present moment for me, and what I teach and talk about when it comes to that. When it comes to living not on autopilot, but living mindfully with presence in any moment, so we can manifest our lives with intention rather than manifesting our lives on autopilot. I talked about this in a previous video where we're always manifesting. We are always manifesting. Life is a manifestation. But whether or not we are doing this unconsciously or consciously, makes the difference. And that is what this principle is all about. Understanding, like I talked about in the principle of vibration, how everything changes. Everything changes. And whether or not you can go with that flow or not, whether or not you can, like they said, not necessarily prevent the flow, but work with it, is up to you. And the best way to do this, the best way to go with the flow, is by living in the present moment as much as you can mindfully, so that when the tide rises, you can float with it. When the tide lowers, you are prepared to float with it, rather than getting bumped up against the shore, grounded against the shore in that sense. Being able to ride with it. So I want everybody to just think about this a little bit. Where in your life do you find yourself at the mercy of life? And does it really have to be that way? Because I'm going to say no. No, it doesn't. You can do the healing work so that then you can move on to the proactive tools, so that in mind, body, and spirit, you can know when you come out the other side of any event that you are better off for it, because you were prepared, because you trust yourself. I just talked about this in something else today. I believe it was the video I made for Facebook to introduce myself, because I've got a lot of new people coming on in Facebook since I started using it again. And, you know, that ability to be able to really listen to your intuition so that you can trust yourself is so, so important. That's what my intuitive lifestyle course is all about. Being able to slow down, figure out what the outside noises are and eliminate them, figure out what the internal learned instincts are and separate the bad from the good, so that you can then actually determine what is the voice of your intuition and be able to hear that, because it will never steer you wrong. And then that way you can choose whether or not you want help, or you can choose who to get help from. Because if you don't trust yourself, you won't trust those you are getting help from, because you won't trust your ability to choose who to get help from. So we have to be able to trust ourselves by being able to know that we can hear our own internal guidance and that it is correct, and not coming from the ego or the outside voices or any of those bad learned instincts. So that's what my intuitive lifestyle course is all about. Learning to figure that out, figure out what your priorities are, your values are, so you can figure out what your boundaries need to be, and so much more to get you on that path to living proactively healthy, rather than on autopilot, constantly having to hurt and heal, hurt and heal, hurt and heal. That's available on my Patreon, along with so many other amazing teachings. So, yeah. Where in your life could you be more mindful at any given moment? What healing could you be doing so that you can start getting proactive with your life rather than reactive? Because at the end of the day, to heal is to make happy. When all of the systems are healthy, happiness comes naturally. And you've got to heal first in order to get proactive, because otherwise you're going to wind up just hurting more and more, and those proactive health tools are not going to be as helpful as they would otherwise if you were healed first, because you're constantly going to be, in that sense, cleaning up your messes and sort of therefore contradicting or counteracting the proactive tools that you're trying to use. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Let's see, what is the next principle? The next principle we will be getting into is principle number 6, the principle of cause and effect. I can't wait for that one. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. That includes my Patreon, where you can get in on all those things that I talked about for as little as $23 a month. That is my first tier. It has my intuitive lifestyle course, my Spirituality 101 2.0 series, workshop replays, guided meditations, journal exercises, and so much more. That's just $23 a month. And then I have 2 other tiers on top of that that has their own little perks. Definitely go check that out. If you're enjoying my videos here, I know you're going to enjoy the links in my description. I have things like dōTERRA, working with me one-on-one, my email list. I do 1 email a month. That's it. Because I don't like to just send people emails to remind them I exist. Not my thing, because I know I hate getting emails from people when I sign up on their list that are really obviously then just putting out stuff to just remind me they exist. So I try not to do anything that I would be bothered by to others. Just a thing I do. If you know you are really ready to heal, grow, expand your consciousness, get proactive with your life, get mindful in the present moment, I would love to have you, and I have 6 spots available right now for one-on-one clients. We can literally get into everything, mind, body, and spirit, personalized to you. I help people in the mind area with mental health and mindset, in the body area with natural living, nutrition, and exercise, and in the spirit side, I work with you wherever you want to work at. I have had clients that come in with their own religion that they want to work from, or I've had clients that just come in and want to learn more. Wherever you are at, I want to work with you. And if you're not super spiritual or super religious, I've got something for that in the spirit category too, when it comes to really finding your purpose and passion in life. Because when we feel purposeless in life, well, that pretty much says it all. We feel purposeless, and that's no fun. So if you sign up for my session packages, because that's a link in the description to just sign up today, that will commit you to a certain number of sessions, and then how often we work together and what we work on will be customized and personalized to you. We will have a free session in between you signing up and when we start our sessions, so that we can customize and personalize and talk all that good stuff out. There is more information on the sign-up page to find out more, including some little extras that I threw in there that I love that you might have heard me talk about before, including little oils customized, as well as your very own Mountain Bound book, which is a blank book, a journal that is handmade by a very amazing friend of mine. So, wow, I just blanked. So yeah, links in the description. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. There's my email. There is my link to my free clarity call. You can sign up for my free clarity call if you have any questions about working with me one-on-one or dōTERRA, because I do dōTERRA wellness calls as well. dōTERRA is your one-stop shop for all your natural living needs. If you want to get rid of all of those synthetic chemicals in your life and replace them with the best, literally the best, I wouldn't say it if I didn't know it, the best plant-based products, dōTERRA is for you. And I would love to just help, walk you through it. Walk you through getting set up with your first order, with your membership, with your loyalty rewards program. We have so much to offer at dōTERRA. You want to just buy retail, you can do that too. If you just want to figure it all out yourself, you can just use the link. But if you'd like a dōTERRA wellness call, I would love to work with you. And you just sign up for that free clarity call, check the dōTERRA box, and we will be on our way. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me again for another video. May the energies you serve you well. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out those links in the description, and let's keep making our way through.